Jesse Davis here of AskAnExpertWholesaler.com, AskAexpertWholesaler.com. What I want to do is talk to you today just for a minute. I have recently put out a video, I don't know if you've seen it on the blog yet, where it's what I call my cheapo strategy. And while I was recording the video, I was doing a bunch of different other stuff, and I had a lot of properties to go to for my wholesaling business and everything, and while I was at that property, I went ahead and made the video. And that's been a few weeks ago, but I didn't have really time to explain kind of what I do with the cheapo strategy, what I call the cheapo strategy of wholesaling. But one thing that I wanted to talk to you about is basically, you know, I went through if you watch it, I think the label of it is, it says cheapo strategy, and it's like how to make phenomenal returns. I'm going to label it something like how to make phenomenal returns with very little cash and with cheapo properties. Well, what I did was, and what I normally do is, as I wholesale, wholesaling is a business in itself meant specifically to generate cash. Okay, it's something that you can make a living doing. That's what I do all the time. And of course, I run, you know, more than one business. I run actually several different businesses, you know, but my main business, the one that my income and my living depends on, is my wholesaling business, which I've built and done very, very well in. Anyways, it produces a lot of cash for me. There's a lot of different investments that you can get involved in, but one of the best investments, in my opinion, is creating notes. Okay, I love creating notes. I love creating notes with cheap houses, and quite frankly, there's very, very few houses that you know, you can get. If you offer owner financing, you can get somebody to take it. Okay, and that house that I showed, that if you watch the video where it says cheapo strategies that I was at, unbelievably need a lot of work. It's not in a very good part of town. Actually, it's in a really terrible part of town. I definitely wouldn't want to live there. There's people that live there. I mean, I don't know why people want to live in rough areas. I mean, some people just grow up in those areas, and they just can't seem to break that cycle and get out, or don't seem to figure a way out. You know, I was raised a little different. I want to live in a pretty nice area and be successful in everything that I do. That's just basically what I want to do. A lot of it is choice. Sometimes it's not, but a lot of it is choice, in my opinion. So whatever the reason, it's an area that I wouldn't want to be in. I consider it not a real safe area for a lot of people. Now, I don't care about it because I'll go anywhere in any town, and it really doesn't make me any difference. Okay, I'm not scared of really nothing, and of course I know that you know, if you know about me and you've watched this before, you know I'm a Christian man. I know where I'm going to go when I die, so I'm not scared of those areas. But I do, but I love those areas to find cheap deals, because there's a lot of people that are scared of those areas, investors that don't want to buy in those areas. So here's what I typically do. I'll typically pick up a house for $3,000, $4,000. I've done them at $6,500. I mean, I don't, you know, I try to stay under $10,000. Okay. And usually if I can stay around $5,000 or underneath $5,000, that's what I like to do. It's where I can put $4,000 or $5,000 in a house and then owner finance it. And here's what I do. I simply go out, I put a sign in the yard that says foreclosure, owner desperate, will finance. Very, very simple. Put that sign in there with a number. Now I always have that number going to a voicemail box to where you can you don't have to answer the phone all the time, but it just says, hey, leave your name and number and what property you're calling about. And and there's several different ways you can set it up. But anyway, set it up to a voicemail so you don't have to take all the calls until you're ready. And then basically what I do is, if it needs work, a lot of times I offer zero down payment. Now, if it's a nice house, I'll take down. I want down payment, but most of the time it's zero down, and I only want and basically what I normally say is, look, I charge 12 3/4% interest. Okay, some people charge more, some people charge less. That's my rule of thumb. Learned it from Lonnie Scruggs. I don't know if you got the audio bonus for signing up of the interview with Lonnie Scruggs, who basically, this is who taught me this strategy. He used it with mobile homes. I use it with houses. regardless, it works either way. You're creating notes. You're in the note business, the finance business. And anyways, normally I go 12 3/4% interest, and payments and terms are negotiable. And a lot of times I just ask people, hey, you know, I want to make sure I get paid. Okay, tell me what kind of note you want, and I make the note whatever they need it to be. Or if they want to pay it off in 3 years, you know, hey, this is how much the note payment will be. Can you handle that? Oh yeah, or no, and need a little lower, vice versa. Sometimes I'll, you know, give them a month because they're gonna have to work on it before the payment start. But regardless, I've done deals, and I've done bunches of deals, and in fact I do it all the time, creating notes over and over again. And you know, what I do is I usually double the price. I've bought, now sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll buy it for $3,500 and finance it for $5,000. But most of the time it's like, okay, if I buy it for $6,500, I'm going to at least finance it for $12,000. Or you know, if I buy it for $4,000, finance it for $8,000, or buy it for $4,000, finance it for $7,500 or $7,000. You know, anywhere where I got a pretty good spread where I'm going to double my money. That's pretty much what I want to try to do. And then, based on the return of that, I mean, if you do the numbers, I won't do that and do the numbers with a financial calculator. If you're not familiar with running a financial calculator, you need to get very, very familiar running a financial calculator. But just think about a deal like this. You buy for $4,000, you sell for $8,000 at 12 3/4% interest. Okay, let's say you know, I didn't take any down payment, but let's say you know, they want to pay it off in 3 years. Figure the payment, and then once you learn how to do the financial calculator, just figure out the yield on that deal. And you're going to see most of the time you can get phenomenal yields. I'm talking about 30, 40, 50% yields per year on your money. And that's basically what I've set up over and over and over again. And eventually, as you do it, it's another way to build cash flow. But the yields are just absolutely phenomenal yields with very little money. So I mean, within a year, most of the time, you're going to take in a year. Sometimes, I mean, I've gotten down payment. Some people want to give me some down payment. I've gotten pretty much all my money back in a year for the deal. And then if something happens, they don't go through, and I got to foreclose or whatever, I simply just do it and do another deal with it. So it's a wonderful strategy. If you got any questions about this strategy, you know, just shoot me an email. I'll be glad to talk a little bit more about it. But as you get into wholesaling, as you get into real estate, it's something that you need to be thinking about. It's definitely a cash flow builder and a tremendous return on your money, and it can make you really, really wealthy. So that's what I call the cheapo strategy. I do this all the time. I know this is not typically wholesaling, but you know, it links to wholesaling. It's basically wholesaling can produce the cash to allow you to do things like this in this cheapo investment strategy. And I do all kinds of investing. I mean, everything from subject to deals to wholesaling to retailing. Which I tell you the truth, retailing is the one thing that I really don't do a lot of. I do a lot of lease options. I do a lot of those different kind of creative things, but you know, I've never really been very big on retailing. Never have made big, huge amounts of money on deals like a lot of people have, and now I want to, and I'm sure I will. And I've made some good money on some deals, but nothing like, you know, $50,000, $100,000 like you read about and do. That's just not my style. I do a lot of deals, multiple deals, less risk and less waiting. I don't have a lot of money tied up in them, and I get a little bit of cash flow coming in from my notes, a little bit of cash flow from my rental properties, and then eventually, as you just keep building, I mean, all of a sudden, you know, you look back and you've got a actual tremendous business coming in, tremendous cash coming in, and then there'll be a day when I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to talk on this, and I'll be able to spend more time answering everybody's questions because I won't have to work and do the wholesale. But anyways, that's my cheapo strategy. I hope this helped you. If you're not signed up on my newsletter, make sure to sign up on my newsletter at www.askaexpertwholesaler.com, www.askaexpertwholesaler.com, and it's just a simple newsletter. You get on, and it's a blog format. You shoot me any question you want. As I get time, I will answer the question. I'll put it on the blog and post it. I've got hundreds of subscribers on my list, and everybody from time to time they'll throw their 2 cents in worth of information, and I've got some pretty good guys on the list, and what I'm trying to build is a community of like-minded real estate investors that are tired of paying a lot of money for a bunch of fluffed up courses, and we can just communicate together, and I can give my advice for free, and that's basically what I do. That's what it's created, and it's fun, and it allows me to help a lot of people without having to talk to everybody individually, which kind of tends to take away from my time of doing my business and wholesaling and finding cheapo deals. So anyways, askanexpertwholesaler.com. Make sure you're signed up, and I hope you like this video. If you got any questions, just shoot me an email once you're signed up on the list. I'll be more than happy to help you. Until next time, I'll see you later.